It's Tehachapi time again, Key Budge in studio. Today I've got a special guest, Chuck Schuyler, representing the Tehachapi Boy Scouts of America, Troop 3. Chuck, welcome to Tehachapi.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me here.
Nice to have you, because we're going to talk about something that's very important, things that maybe a lot of people maybe never participated in or understood. And we're going to talk about Flag Day. Flag Day usually takes place, I believe, in June.
June 14th.
June 14th. We didn't have it this year, and we had a group of veterans at our American Legion post and VFW started talking together and said, hey, we need to make sure that we do this. And it was then talking with the Boy Scouts who have hosted in the past, and we've kind of come together to put together Flag Day on September 11th. Let's talk a little bit about Flag Day and the significance of what we do on Flag Day.
So Flag Day was in United States Flag Code Section 176. Basically, it was a way to then, with the flag, when it was in such a condition that it no longer was a fitting emblem of display, should be destroyed in a dignified manner. So at that point, then the ceremony came. How do we, in a dignified manner, retire these flags?
When a flag starts to become tattered, and here in Tehachapi, the wind can break down a flag very quickly. You know, a year of service is solid service for a flag that's outside on a daily basis. And you start to see that the tattering and the tearing, you know, based on weather conditions. And it's appropriate to retire that flag.
Yes.
And we do it in a manner that, as you said, with the flag code, that it mentions there's a proper way to do it respectfully, because this symbolizes the United States of America, and we just can't throw it away.
Correct. So two of the most popular ways to retire a flag are through burning or through basically rendering the flag no longer a flag. The way we do that is you take a flag, you remove the union, that's the blue part with the stars on it, from the stripes. Once those two parts have been removed, it's no longer a flag. In that, you dispose of it in a proper manner. That would be in some type of container or device, then you can dispose of at that point.
The Boy Scouts have done this going back how far here in Tehachapi?
In Tehachapi, we've done it since 2005.
And the last time we did it was in
2019.
Okay, and then we had COVID, which restricted a lot of gatherings and things that the state put restrictions, so it was not something that we were able to do. And now it's time to do that. And I know we've been, with several organizations that have come together, have been collecting flags. And I have heard we've got an astonishing number that's been gathered so far.
Correct. I think it must be 500, 700. I mean, there's a lot of them.
I had even heard it's over 1,000 and closer to 1,500 now. That was the update I got this week from the American Legion post, that's how many they've collected. It's been overwhelming, the amount of flags that people have been keeping to properly restore. So when we talk, or properly retire, so when we kind of talk about it, I guess there are a lot of Tehachapians that understand the significance of disposing of this flag in a proper and dignified manner. And they've been waiting for this opportunity to come again.
And now we got a big job ahead of us.
Yeah. So what we're going to do on September 11th at the Tehachapi Rodeo Event Center, we've got all of the organizations that are coming together. And I don't have the list in front of me, but it's a long list of groups, organizations, but the Boy Scouts are going to be right at the forefront. Let's talk about what this means and why the Boy Scouts are involved in this.
So part of being a Boy Scout is being a good citizen of their community. And from that, they ensure that they have a reverence for the symbols of their country. And so we teach them the proper techniques to fold the flag, to raise and lower the flag, to respect their flag, and then in the end to retire that flag. So for the purposes of this ceremony here, what we're going to see is we're going to see all the flags folded back in their tri-corner style, just like they were a brand new flag. We're going to have them ceremonially put on a nice table, and we're going to have the Boy Scouts come and grab those flags individually one at a time. We're going to have different barrels set up for the burning process. What you're going to see if you're out there is you're going to see them coming up, picking up the flag, putting up to their heart, and reverently turning around and walking back to those different burn barrels. At that point, we're going to have other Boy Scouts there. They're going to take the flag from the other Boy Scout. They're going to open it up, for one last time. You're going to see the Boy Scouts salute that flag one last time, and then they're going to ceremonially put it into the fire and salute it as it's in the fire until it's no longer there.
The last planning meeting that I attended, there was some 20 burn barrels that had been committed to this between what the Boy Scouts had and what some other organizations are bringing. There should be at least 20 burn barrels. So we've got the Boy Scouts that'll be a part of it. And then I know in talking with the American Legion and the VFW, they're also going to be a veteran at each of the burn barrels. So we'll have a military veteran present to go along with it. That to me was very significant. I thought that it just made sense that we had our military represented right along with these young men that are, aspiring to be good Americans and learning what it's like to be a part of something that's bigger than yourself. So I am looking forward to this ceremony. I think this should be, one, to be very visual, very moving. It's and it's on a very significant day as well. The day that was selected was September 11th to hold this event. And in discussions that we had at the American Legion Hall, is that with 9/11, we could tie it in with a remembrance for all those first responders. Not only do we have our veterans present, but there'll be first responders present. And we're retiring the flag. So it just seemed like there was such a no-brainer, if you will, kind of a smart partnership with the first responders to honor all Americans that perished on 9/11, but it's particularly the first responders. We'll have our veterans present and retire our flag in a dignified manner. Have you got any feedback from any of the young men involved in the Boy Scouts knowing that they're going to be a part of this?
Yes. This is one thing that they look forward to every single year. This is them providing a service to their country. And they see it as that, and they see it as a solemn responsibility that they have.
Attended the last Flag Day ceremony in June of 2019 at the high school, the stadium. And I was really impressed with all of the Boy Scouts at the different levels down to Cub Scouts that were there participating, and they all took it very serious. And like you said, they held to their heart and made the presentation of the flag, to some older scouts who then very diligently and carefully unfolded that flag, like you said, for that last representation of it being flown, if you will, being handheld before being retired. Very moving. When you sit there and think about our freedoms, it's hard not to, while you're there at the event, paying attention to what's going on. Has there been discussion with the Scouts as to, I'm sure, the history of this and the things that we're talking about the importance, the reverence to what they're about to participate in?
Yes. Normally a month before the ceremony comes through there, that's what we start talking about. In addition to that, there's preparation. So we start gathering these flags, ensuring they're folded up the right way, and just have discussions. So yes.
As we move towards September 11th, this is going to take place at 4 o'clock out at the rodeo grounds. The fire department will be on hand from Kern County. There'll be members of, I believe, Tehachapi Police Department, possibly Kern County Sheriff. On the first responder side, many retired first responders will be there, as well as representatives from our military. And if you don't mind, we talked before we started recording where we were on 9/11. Do you mind sharing a little bit about what you remember from 9/11?
Yeah, definitely. That was a very life-changing day for all of us. I had previously served in the Army for 4 years active duty, and at that time I was working at the CCI, Tehachapi Prison, and I was on a drill weekend with the National Guard. And I was out there, I was leading a range, and I was in my uniform right when I heard that. And from that day forward, for a whole year, I was deployed away from my family, yeah.
It's another one of those moments in time that people talk about, but this was one significant in American history that we lived through. We've heard about past moments in American history that were before our time. I remember being a first responder at the time, working for the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department, and about to go into work, watching the morning news, watching the tragedies occur, these attacks on New York, in Washington, D.C., and then the plane was taken over by the passengers and fallen in Pennsylvania, where almost some 3,000 people lost their lives on that one single day. That I knew right away that Los Angeles, too, could be a part of this, and it was straight to work. We went right on to a tactical duty shifts in preparation, and I wasn't deployed away, but it was definitely a life-changing moment where you're there, you're ready to go, tactical gear, where are we going, just to stand by to heighten security and make people feel safe, because it changed. Everything changed. The way you felt about going places. There was a lot of different emotions. One, the sadness of seeing what happened, the anger. I remember the anger. I could almost taste it again as I kind of relive some of these moments. Those are two emotions that definitely came to me. I'm sure it was probably something very impactful for you as well, especially if you were on your guard duty and then it turns into an activation. The different emotions that go through you when we live through those kinds of moments.
Oh, I agree. Definitely the anger, the unknown, right?
Right.
You don't know where you're going, what you're doing, the vigilance, ensuring that you're on point and all your soldiers are on point as well. And then the need to ensure that your family's safe.
That's definitely, I can, as you say those things, I go through, I'm nodding yes along with you, going exactly right, thinking about family and just that unknown. You don't know who to be angry at. You knew you were angry, but I don't remember who, it's like, who are we angry at? We didn't know. And it took some time. So at least from one first responder to another and a military veteran, it has this day that we are going to honor on September 11th and Flag Day has meaning. It has something to us that's a part of who we are, how we're made. I know there's many other people that'll be there that have similar feelings, as they look back to what occurred on September 11th, those many years ago.
Well, this ceremony for me just brings back every single time that I'm up there, whether it's in uniform or I'm at a ball game or anything else, and I see that flag go up and that Star Spangled Banner be sung. And even right now, the goosebumps that hit my skin and the tingling throughout my whole body. I mean, this is a symbol of our country.
Yeah, and I just would really hope that those that are listening to the podcast come out. Experiences, bring the family, bring the kids. This is something that's going to be very visual, and a lot of time and preparation has gone into making sure that this honors those, and we remember 9/11, but also the honor of the flag, and it's time for retirement. And it's just something I think that everyone should experience if you have the opportunity. And we decided to move it back to 4 p.m. because we know that in Bakersfield they're going to have also ceremonies as well, because Bakersfield Fire Department has pieces of the Twin Towers there. So we know that in the morning time there will be ceremonies for people to attend. And we thought, we don't want to compete. Let's do it so people can go to both or multiple if they wanted to. So we moved it back to 4 in the afternoon. And then with the burn pits, that glow, what you're going to see from the down on the dirt within the arena, I think is going to be visually, it's going to be, just kind of, you're going to be speechless as you watch it, I believe. Anyway, those are kind of my thoughts as I've been out here as a part of the organizing group. So I'm looking forward to participating. Chuck, anything we haven't talked about that you think that we should bring up?
I think for me, please, just another appeal just like you had. Get everybody out here that you can so they can see this. You can see everybody participating and being a part of it and celebrate the nature of what we're doing. We're honoring these flags that represent our country.
Yeah, and all the organizations that have come together, I can tell you that working with American Legion Post 221, they've been the forefront leaders, and they've been working to grab other organizations and groups together, the Blue Star Moms, Daughters of the American Revolution, and there's 5150 Diesels, the VFW, the Boy Scouts, the City of Tehachapi. We've all been kind of working in collaboration to make this happen, to have something that's, I think, will be, you'll remember. And I think that's the key takeaway from this. And I also want to remind you that if you do need to replace that flag, that the American Legion Post has flags available. They have a program where they sell flags. So if you need to replace a flag that's being retired, you can purchase one from the American Legion. Just throwing this out, any money that's made goes back into their community account so they can help do other community programs. But I wasn't aware until we started talking to them about this program that they had a flag purchasing program. So the City of Tehachapi now, when you start to see the flags on our poles on the streets, we're purchasing those through the American Legion to support our veteran groups. So that's something, a commitment that we made. So we just invite people that if you come on out, you can talk to them about that. Chuck, anything else?
That's it for me.
I think. And thank you to all the Boy Scouts. Make sure that they know we appreciate what they're doing. And for those of you that come on out, make sure you thank those first responders, you thank our veterans, the Boy Scouts that are out there, all the groups participating. There's been a lot of work put into this. So, Chuck, appreciate the time.
Thank you.
All right, folks. Any questions, you can send them to us, media@TehachapiCityHall.com. We invite you to come out to the rodeo grounds Sunday, September 11th, 4 p.m. It's a free event, and I think you should bring the family. So we look forward to seeing you then.
Tehachapod is a conversation about Tehachapi designed for the people who live here or who would like to know more about this mountaintop community. If you have a question you would like answered, email media@TehachapiCityHall.com. We will try to answer it on a future episode of Tehachapod.